channel, and if you're new here, I'm very happy to have you here. Welcome to my channel. Today I have a highly anticipated video, you guys. It is the Kilian house review. I'm going to do a full review of the house Kilian. I have a lot of Kilians, you guys. I have a lot of them lined up here. I think I have 12 Kilian perfumes here to talk about today. But before we get into the Kilian house review, please take a minute to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you will be notified every time I upload. Otherwise, if you don't subscribe and ring the notification bell, YouTube is not going to let you know that I uploaded. They're not going to push you the videos. If you watch my videos already, why not subscribe so you don't miss out on anything? So now, without further delay, let's get into the Kilian perfumes. So guys, like I said, I have been meaning to do this video for a very long time. In fact, it might have been like October, November time frame. I cannot exactly remember. I actually filmed this video and somehow the footage got deleted, you guys. I don't know how that happened, and I'm kind of glad that it wasn't meant to be at the time, because I've added a few Kilians to my collection since then, and I continue to add more Kilians to my list, you guys. And I kept thinking, hey, maybe I want to wait for 2 more Kilians before I do this. You know what I realized? I'm going to never stop ordering Kilian perfumes, you guys. If I wait for me to be done ordering all the Kilians to do this video, 1, this video will be super long, and 2, that'll never happen, because I'll continue to buy Kilian perfumes because it's one of my most favorite houses, you guys. I think I'm going to start with one of the most well-known perfumes from the house of Kilian. It is something that Rihanna made very popular because apparently this was, or still is, her signature scent. So you guys already know what this one is. This is Love Don't Be Shy by Kilian. So this one, you guys, is the latest formula. I'm also going to talk to you guys about the original formula I have right here. You can see that red juice through the label, like on the side there. So you can see the juice on this one is kind of salmon colored, and the juice in here, the original formula, is red. And I'll get to the differences here soon. There is a difference. Oh, you guys, this is one of the most beautiful, feminine, slightly gourmet fragrances I've ever smelled. There's something very unique about this fragrance. It's beautiful. It smells like a Middle Eastern orange blossom dessert. That is the best way to put it. Very much like a light Middle Eastern orange blossom dessert kind of smell in here. As you guys know, this is an orange blossom neroli marshmallow fragrance. So let me spray this. Oh, you guys, this fragrance is so beautifully, softly gourmand. That's the best way to put it. It is a gourmand, but it is a very kind of soft, understated gourmand. It's not in-your-face gourmand. To some people, they say this is a little too sweet. Not to me. I think the sweet in here is very feminine. This is a very sweet, white floral, vanilla, citrus, powdery, musky, animalic scent. In my opinion, this fragrance leans more feminine than masculine. Oh, you guys, this has a beautiful opening. This opens with neroli, bergamot, pink pepper, and a little bit of coriander. And in the middle, you guys, you get that gorgeous orange blossom with the honeysuckle and jasmine. And there's a little hint of rose in here and iris, which adds to that, I think, powderiness of this fragrance. So in the base, you have marshmallow sugar, basically. And then there's a little hint of caramel. There's a big dose of vanilla, which makes this so beautiful. There is labdanum in the base, which is kind of a note that has like leathery nuances. There is musk in here, which adds that sort of edge to it. And there's civet, giving it sort of animalic vibes. Oh, it's just gorgeous, you guys. It's the most perfect feminine fragrance, and I can see why Rihanna chose this for her signature scent because I would want to smell like this all day, honestly. It has decent projection and sillage. It lasts a long while. I would say about 8 hours on my clothes, on my skin a little less. I will say, I'm going to get to it here in a second, the older version, the previous version, lasts longer for sure, and it's a little bit stronger. I'm about to talk about that right now to you guys. So this one, you guys, this one is definitely, I would say, slightly spicier, stronger in all the accords and notes. It's like the same one, only stronger. I have two strips here with the new and the old. So let me compare them side by side. This is the new. This is the old. I think the older version, the orange blossom is stronger, but also the other florals in here are a little bit stronger. I'm picking up a little bit more rose than the new one. I smell the rose right under the orange blossom. Yeah, I'm definitely smelling a little bit more of a floral vibe from this that is a little stronger. I think the older version is deeper. I wouldn't say sweeter, it's deeper. Yeah, it's definitely stronger. It's a more intense, slightly intense version of the new one. I would say the new one is a little bit, I wouldn't say watered down, but rather milder than the older formula. Oh, I just adore the older formula and the new one, you guys. Honestly, I love them both. I wouldn't pick one over the other because there's something very soft about the new formula that I adore. I just love them both. And in fact, I'm so sad that this is no longer going to be available to find anywhere. I want Kilian to keep both of them, you know, still keep the old formula in stock and have this one too. I love them both. So this is Kilian Love Don't Be Shy. So you guys, naturally, the next one is going to be the latest release from Kilian. It is Kilian Love Don't Be Shy Extreme. This one, you guys, oh my God, mwah. Love this one. Oh my God. Wow. I gotta say, you guys, I love this one more than Love Don't Be Shy. But you guys, this one is so special. It's so special. Don't miss out on this one. Just don't miss out on this one. There's something very special about this fragrance. By the way, you guys, I did a dedicated review of the Kilian Love Don't Be Shy Extreme, and I compared it side by side with Love Don't Be Shy. I will link it up here and down in the description box. I went into great detail in that video, so I'm not going too much into the differences. This, you guys, is the most special fragrance. Oh my God. Don't assume just because it says extreme, it is an extreme version of Love Don't Be Shy, like Extrait de Parfum. Don't think it's the Extrait de Parfum. It isn't. This is Eau de Parfum. This isn't the intense version of the Love Don't Be Shy at all. The extreme implies something else, actually, I figured out. Extreme just means there's something extreme about this. It is not because it's a more intense version of the Love Don't Be Shy. Rather, this has a very strong rose accord that kind of makes this strong in some ways. Actually, you know, I just mentioned to you guys the original formula of Love Don't Be Shy has a little bit more strong, which I think is why that version smells stronger than the latter version, the latest version. So in here, the rose is very much accentuated, you guys. So you still get that beautiful orange blossom and neroli and all that, but with added rose, an added, more intensified rose. It is the most beautiful orange blossom rose fragrance, you guys, this one. And this does last longer on my skin and clothes than Love Don't Be Shy. That rose kind of makes it last longer. Rose is a very powerful note, you guys. So it's kind of like if you took a Middle Eastern dessert, like an orange blossom dessert, and added rose essence to it. and that's kind of what this smells like. I think that's the best way to describe it. So this has pretty much the same accords as the original with some added accords. So this is also sweet just like the original. It's white floral, it's powdery, it's citrusy. There's a big rose accord in here. There's vanilla, there's floral, there's slight bit of fresh spiciness to this one, and it's musky. So this opens with neroli and bergamot. And in the middle you have that huge dose of rose with orange blossom, which are a beautiful match made in heaven, you guys. And both florals are intense together in here. And then you of course get that gorgeous marshmallow note. There's no caramel in this one. That marshmallow adds that beautiful, like very subtle gourmand hint to this. I wouldn't call Love Don't Be Shy, that one, syrupy, but if you can imagine that one smells more syrupy than this one, if that makes sense. This one is more of a rosy scent. Did I say there's a big dose of vanilla in here also? And there's also a slight bit of musk, which adds that beautiful edginess, and there is, I think, pomegranate too. This is one of the most gorgeous rose fragrances I have in my collection, you guys. I talked about it also in my rose fragrance video. And if you have Love Don't Be Shy already in your collection, you can add this one too, because they're not alike really. There are similarities, but they're also very different. So this is Kilian Love Don't Be Shy Extreme. Next I have the latest Kilian beauty I added to my collection, you guys. This is Liaisons Dangereuses. This one is beautiful, you guys. So this one, you guys, is a beautiful, fruity, sweet, woody rose. Oh my goodness, this one smells very expensive, very sophisticated, high class. I had heard so many good things about this fragrance for a very long time. This is not one of Kilian's newest releases. This is quite a bit old. It's an old fragrance and now comes in this newer white bottles. It used to come in a black bottle, I believe. So I'm gonna spray it. Oh, there it is. Oh, something so inexplicably expensive and sophisticated and gorgeous and sexy all at the same time about this one, you guys. This one is not one to miss. Not one to miss. This is one of the best Kilians I have in my collection. And this one I like more than Rolling in Love. Yes. Yes, I do. I will be talking about Rolling in Love here in a second. It's a very refined scent. It smells refined. It's a very aromatic fragrance, you guys, also. It's fresh, spicy, and it's fruity, and it's rose. I think those three accords are what makes this so special. It is a very fruity, sweet, rose, woody, aromatic, fresh, spicy, musky, slight bit powdery floral scent. There's a note in here in the opening that I just adore that gives fragrances this fruity freshness. You guessed it, it's blackcurrant. Love, love, love blackcurrant in the opening of fragrances. It gives it this fruity freshness, if that even makes sense. It's also in C and C Intense, which I adore the blackcurrant note. And so in the opening you get like very juicy fruity notes like blackcurrant, plum, and peach. And then there's a little bit of coconut in the opening. And in the middle you get rose and geranium both, you guys. So rose is obviously rose, which adds this very sophisticated, scent to fragrances. And geranium is a floral note that also has like sort of rosy nuances to it. Those two always work super well together. And also there is muskmallow in here, which is a sort of a sweet floral musky note. And then there is cinnamon in the middle as well, giving it that beautiful sort of spicy layer to it. Cinnamon is not a very like a hot type of spice. It's more of an aromatic spice. And the base, you get the most gorgeous woody notes and vanilla and stuff, you guys. So you get vanilla. There's sandalwood, which always adds that sensual sort of mellow touch to fragrances in the base. There's vetiver, giving it a slight earthiness to this fragrance. And then there's oak moss, which is like an inky woody note, which is gorgeous in perfumes. There's musk, adding that sexy edginess to this fragrance. And then there are other woody notes. Just beautiful. This is the most sophisticated Kilian that I have. This one is very expensive smelling, very like high class, sophisticated, expensive, rich smelling fragrance. This is one you should not miss from the house of Kilian, you guys. This is Liaisons Dangereuses. Next, I have another one I think is very sophisticated and smells expensive, smells rich. I have had in my collection for a very long time. In fact, I have it in the old packaging, the black packaging. It now comes in, I believe, white packaging. I just need to get another bottle, you guys. I really need to, and I've been using it sparingly. I should just get another bottle because, you know, who am I kidding? I'm never going to live without this fragrance in my collection, so I may as well just get another one and have it be a backup. So I'm gonna actually start wearing it more. This one is one of my favorites from the house of Kilian. This is Woman in Gold. This one is amazing, you guys. Oh my God. And this actually is quite nostalgic to me. Oh, I just adore this one. Again, this smells very expensive, very rich. It smells like a very expensive luxury hotel salon. Actually, this smells very much like a very sophisticated, rich lady walking out of a luxury hotel. That's what this smells like. Same with the one I just talked about. I love this. This is another one that has that rose accord in, you guys. It's quite a bit of strong rose accord in here. To me, I feel like every time you put rose in a fragrance, you guys, it gives this elegance to that perfume. Well, of course, it depends on what you blend with too. But I mean, if you put rose with a bunch of really bad notes, then of course not, it's not gonna smell elegant. I feel like if you do it right with rose note in fragrances, you get this most amazing, expensive, elegant, sophisticated smelling fragrances. And this one, you guys, the beautiful thing about this fragrance, you guys, that I really love, there's a citrus accord in here that is just beautiful. It's not your average citrus accord that you smell in most fragrances. There's something, the citrus oil in here, you can tell it's a very like strong, potent type of high quality citrus in here. That citrus mixed in with that rose is what creates that amazing, amazing sort of luxury salon kind of vibes, if that makes sense to you. But it actually smells like an expensive luxury hotel, a very rich woman walking out of a luxury hotel. It's what it smells like. And by the way, you guys, there's oud in this fragrance, which makes it really gorgeous in the base. It also has patchouli in it as well. This is a very rose, citrus, vanilla, woody, warm, spicy, fresh, spicy, aromatic, oud, floral, and patchouli fragrance. So you guys, there's aldehydes in the opening of this fragrance, which adds to that sort of fresh laundry kind of vibes in the opening. This, you know, aldehydes tend to smell like that. And I know some people don't like aldehydes. I really like it, especially when you blend it with citruses, like in this perfume. It can be gorgeous. It smells like very expensive clothes laundry, you know, that's kind of what that gives out. So there's mandarin orange, bergamot, and aldehydes in the opening. And then there's rose, geranium, freesia, and vanilla in the middle. So rose and geranium, like I said, work really well together because geranium has rose nuances too. Freesia is a gorgeous spicy floral note, you guys, that kind of like adds that really nice layer to floral aspect of fragrances. And then there's a nice dose of vanilla in here, like I said, that's super nice. It kind of blends well with the florals and the aldehydes and the, you know, citruses. And in the base, you guys, you have vanilla and tonka bean, which really intensifies that vanilla scent in here. Tonka bean, as you know, is a intensified vanilla smelling note. So there's vanilla in the middle, vanilla in the base, and then there's tonka bean. So a good dose of vanilla. And there's oud in the base and patchouli, which makes this last a long time actually. This fragrance, you guys, is super long lasting. There's that patchouli adding to that longevity, I'm sure. But this fragrance, when I spray it, it's kind of like an oil. You can really see the quality of it when you spray. I mean, all of my Kilians are like that. The oil's in it. It's very potent oil. So when I spray this on, it would last all day long until nighttime, until I go to bed. And if I took a shower to go to bed, I would still smell it on my skin after a shower, you guys. That's how potent this one is. I mean, you think you washed it off and you can smell it on your wrist or wherever you sprayed it, and then you're sitting on the couch and you suddenly get a whiff of this fragrance and you're like, what? I just showered. And super long lasting, a beautiful, beautiful, luxury, expensive smelling fragrance. This one, this is Kilian Woman in Gold. And next I have a very popular one by Kilian here. Everybody seems to love this one. This is Rolling in Love by Kilian. This is one of the latest additions to my collection from the house Kilian. So I'm going to spread this one, you guys. This one is a very, very unique fragrance, to say the least. Yeah, this is nothing like any of the other Kilians that I just reviewed. There's a almond milk note in here that really dominates this fragrance, you guys. Really what you smell is that sort of lactonic almond in here. That's like the biggest thing that you get a big whiff of, you know, more than any other note or accord in this fragrance. There are many, many accords in here that are actually gorgeous, but that almond accord is super strong in here, you guys, super strong. It's a floral, vanilla, almond, powdery, musky, tuberose, iris, sweet, white floral, nutty scent, you guys. So this opens with almond milk, you guys. Like I said, that's what you get the most, a big whiff of that. And there's amberette in here, which is like a floral kind of musk. It's an interesting opening, like that almond. You can smell that other note, giving it a second layer. You know, it's not just almondy in the opening. There's the floral muskiness from the amberette or muskmallow. And in the middle you get iris and freesia. Like I always say, iris is a very kind of powdery blue purple flower. Freesia is like a spicy floral. And in the base you get vanilla tonka bean. So it's a very intensified vanilla scent with a tuberose, which adds that sort of, I mean, when you really smell it, when it dries down, you can smell the tuberose if you really, really pay attention to it. It's not very front and center, but you can smell that slight creamy bubblegummy tuberose right under there in the dry down. And then there is musk, which adds like a sexy touch to this. So this one is very different, very unique. It's not like any other Kilian. That almond milk is the boss in this fragrance. That almond nutty accord, very, very prominent. There's vanilla. I get vanilla too. That's very present as well. But is it my favorite from the house of Kilian? No, this one is, I would say, right in the middle. But when I put this next to Liaisons Dangereuses, Woman in Gold, and the Love Don't Be Shy, I would say this is probably my like 5th or 6th favorite from the house of Kilian. This is Rolling in Love. Next I have another very well-known fragrance from the house of Kilian, you guys. This one is talked about quite a bit. It is Black Phantom by Kilian. This one, you guys, is, it's interesting. So this one, you guys, is very unique, to say the least. What dominates this fragrance are the coffee note, the chocolate, and the almond. So what I smell the most is that chocolate with the coffee and that nuttiness from the almond. So that's kind of like what I get the most from this fragrance. It's a gourmand. Is it my favorite Kilian? No, it's not. And this one is a very much a unisex fragrance. If you ask me, men and women can wear this. It can go either way. Right down the middle. It could go female or male. It doesn't matter. Like I said, that chocolate and coffee with that nutty, those accords are very strong in here, very almost overpowering. And there's the booziness in this fragrance as well. So it's kind of like chocolate, coffee, nutty, boozy. It's like a chocolatey coffee rum drink with almond milk in it. So it's a very coffee, chocolatey, almond, nutty, woody, sweet, warm, spicy caramel, powdery. There's a powderiness about this fragrance as well, and a vanilla fragrance. So there's a big dose of dark chocolate here, you guys, which dominates everything with that coffee note. Those two together, they play well, and they are the strongest that dominate all the other accords in here. There is almond in here with that nuttiness. There is caramel. There is heliotrope. Heliotrope is another blue purple flower that is kind of powdery. So adds that powderiness to this fragrance. There is a sugar note in here, so it makes it very sweet. And then there is sandalwood, which adds that sort of sensual woody base touch. Did I tell you guys this also has cyanide in it as a note? Cyanide. I mean, seriously, have you ever heard of that note in anything? I don't even know what cyanide smells like. Like I said, it's very dark, Black Phantom. It's kind of, you know, that's why there's the skull with the danger sign, you know what I mean? So yeah, there's cyanide in this perfume, you guys. Wow. I'm not a huge fan of dark chocolate note in perfumes. I like chocolate, but not when it's like super overpowering. But still, I love this fragrance, you guys, because it's very unique. Like, I don't have anything like this with that coffee and dark chocolate being the main players, you know. It's very much of a unique gourmand. In fact, I think I included this in my top gourmand fragrances in my collection because this is a very unique gourmand. Definitely a unique fragrance, and it is definitely worth it. But this isn't my favorite Kilian. Like I said, I talked about basically most of my favorite Kilians. I do have more of my favorite Kilians coming up. This is Black Phantom by Kilian. Next, I have one that is also very popular that took a little while for me to kind of warm up to. Same with Black Phantom, actually. These are both very dark kind of perfumes, kind of gothic, if that makes sense. Actually, Black Phantom's box design, you know, always had that skull image on it. I'll put a picture up here. Same with the Back to Black. It's called Back to Black Aphrodisiac. I don't know about that, you guys. I don't know if it's an aphrodisiac, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't call it one of my sexiest fragrances. Not an aphrodisiac to me. But I kind of get why they call it that. There's something mysterious about this fragrance, if that makes sense. This one is Kilian Back to Black. This juice in here is kind of almost greenish, you guys. It's like the weirdest juice color ever. So this one is, again, very quite mysterious, dark kind of perfume. Sort of honey syrupy type fragrance. So honey like kind of hits you in the face with this fragrance when you first spray it. It's very sweet honey fragrance. You can literally smell the honey in here. That is a big accord that you smell right away. Honey, very honey heavy, like true honey smell. It's sweet and honey. Those are the two main accords. Adding to the darkness of this fragrance is tobacco, you guys. I think that's one of the things that I am not crazy about in this fragrance. I'm not a huge fan of the tobacco accord, the tobacco note. I know there are people who love the tobacco note, but for me, tobacco kind of makes this very almost masculine smelling. This is like a very masculine gourmand almost to me. That honey kind of makes it gourmand, but it's a very masculine gourmand with that honey and the tobacco. And this also has actually cherry. I just did a cherry video. I didn't include this one in it because the cherry accord isn't very dominant in this. It's kind of lower in the order of what you smell. So that's why I didn't include it, but there is a cherry accord in here, you guys, but it's very kind of subtle. It's a very sweet, honey, tobacco, fruity, warm, spicy, amber, cherry, vanilla, and floral fragrance. There are quite a few notes in here, you guys. It's like actually quite complex. So there is honey, there's tobacco, there's vanilla, there's tonka bean, there is almond, there is gingerbread, there is amber, there's nutmeg, there's chamomile, there's raspberry in here, and then there is benzoin, saffron, patchouli, French labdanum, oak, Virginia cedar, geranium, coriander, olibanum. I mean, it is complex. You guys can understand why this fragrance smells so dark and complex when you look at the notes. Vanilla is very dominant here because not only there is tonka bean and vanilla, but there's also benzoin. So it's very like sweet vanilla. But I get that honey accord quite a bit, you guys, and that tobacco and honey front and center. And then those woody notes are very kind of masculine woody notes, like oak tends to be more of a masculine woody note. Forgot to mention there's also cardamom in here. So there's that warm spiciness in here as well. And then there's incense in here too, you guys. It's a very honey, tobacco, syrupy, incense, nutty kind of fragrance. I don't find it that appealing. Next I have Good Girl Gone Bad, you guys, but what I have is a decant of this fragrance. I still haven't made up my mind about this fragrance. I kind of regret buying Kilian Back to Black and Black Phantom I'm more fond of. They're both very kind of unisex fragrances that lean more masculine. While I really appreciate those two fragrances, you guys, I can't wear them on a day-to-day basis. I mean, I've barely touched these two fragrances. This one is another one, Good Girl Gone Bad. It's nice, but there's something about this fragrance that I can't quite put my finger on, that why I don't like. What part of it I don't like, I don't know. The first time I got my nose on this fragrance, right in the top when I first sprayed it, it smelled a little bit like a squished bug, right? For a second there. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful scent. So I'm kind of like on the fence with this one. I kind of really like it, and I kind of slightly don't like it. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna end up getting it. So what I have right now is the decant, and I'm probably gonna end up with it, but I haven't made up my mind about it. It's a beautiful scent, but there is a quality in here. I love osmanthus when blended with certain other notes. Osmanthus tend to have this sort of apricot-y, leather, milky nuances. That might be what creates that sort of thing that I smelled when I first sprayed it. But usually I love osmanthus, you guys, don't get me wrong. But for some reason in here, it smells different. It's a very white floral, yellow floral, like sort of fruity, slightly green, tuberose, soft, spicy kind of scent with like rose and animalic and amber vibes to it. So in the top you have osmanthus, jasmine, and rose, which should be really gorgeous opening, and it does smell good, but I feel like osmanthus kind of overpowers jasmine and rose in here. I can barely smell the rose in the opening. In the middle you get that gorgeous Indian tuberose. There's narcissus. Narcissus is this opulent animalic floral, you guys. And then there's amber and cedar in the base. I look at the notes and I go, I love all of these notes and I love this fragrance, but there is something in the opening, slight tiny little bitty something there that doesn't smell quite right when I first spray it, but then it goes away and it dries down really beautiful. And I really think it is a gorgeous fragrance, and I am going to add this to my collection. I know I'm going to, but this isn't my favorite. This is Good Girl Gone Bad by Kilian. Next one, I have something that I kind of went back and forth again, whether I want to buy it or not. Something that has a very strong smell, so I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. And I also have a decant of this, a small sample basically, and this one again I'm on the fence about, but I still want to review this. This is Intoxicated by Kilian, you guys, and I have heard so much about this as well. Some people love this, some people don't. Oh, actually, now that I'm smelling it again, I'm starting to lean on the side of I need to buy this. Just like the name suggests, very intoxicating, but it can be polarizing. But I think there's a sophistication to this fragrance that it will take you a few minutes to kind of warm up to this one. It's quite strong. There's a cinnamon note in here that is so gorgeous. With that, there's coffee in it too. Together, there's something really gorgeous about that makes it very kind of intoxicating, you know? It's very much an aromatic, warm, spicy, fresh, spicy coffee and cinnamon fragrance, you guys. This isn't a very complex fragrance, you guys. It's quite straightforward, but it's very intoxicating the way it's blended. It has cardamom and cinnamon, which adds that beautiful, like warm and fresh, spicy vibe to this. There is nutmeg and there's coffee in this fragrance, but for some reason it smells more complex than that. If you have Christian Louboutin's Louis Rouge, the opening, the cardamom in the opening, which is very kind of sophisticated kind of cardamom, that's the kind of cardamom that's in here. something very, very intoxicating. Seriously, a good name for this fragrance. I'm leaning really on the side of buying this now, you guys. This one, again, can go both ways. It's unisex with female or male. So it is Intoxicated by Kilian. Next, I have a gorgeous, gorgeous boozy vanilla from the house of Kilian that I just love and adore. You guys know what it is. I did a dedicated review of this fragrance when it first came out. Check it out. I'll link it up here and down in the description box. This is Kilian Angel's Share, you guys. Oh my God, you guys. This one was in my favorite vanilla fragrances video. I'll link that up here and down in the description box as well. This is like a beautiful boozy vanilla, you guys. Angel's Share is when you have alcohol in a barrel, like the amount that evaporates, that's basically Angel's Share. Because this is a very boozy fragrance, I see why they named it that. It's very potent. I don't really have to spray this whatsoever, but I will because I sprayed everything else as well. They don't really need to be sprayed either. Oh, so good. This will always, always be in my collection. I will always rebuy this one. Gorgeous boozy vanilla. This is a very sweet, woody vanilla, warm, spicy cinnamon, amber, lactonic, powdery, aromatic scent, you guys. It's very aromatic, very boozy. This literally has cognac in the opening, you guys. That's the only note. It's very boozy, the opening, just cognac. And in the middle, you get cinnamon, tonka bean, and oak. Oh my God. That tonka bean is delicious in here with that cinnamon. And with that oak woody notes added to it, most deliciously, you guys. This is just what makes this fragrance a gourmand. This has praline in the base and it has a huge dose of vanilla. So with that tonka bean in the middle and the vanilla in the base, make it a very vanilla dominant fragrance, you guys. And then this has that beautiful creamy sensual sandalwood in the base. So divine. I just love this fragrance, you guys. This is one of the best Kilians I have in my collection and one of the most unique Kilians in my collection. Kilian Angel's Share. Last, I have a fragrance from Kilian's that fragrance collection. So yeah, this is the one in the ball kind of bottle. So this is Kilian Princess. I don't need a prince by my side to be a princess, basically. So this one, you guys, I bought this because of the marshmallow note basically in the base, which I love and adore. The marshmallow in this fragrance doesn't smell like the gourmand marshmallow in the Love Don't Be Shy. This has a green tea note in it, which kind of cuts through that sweet gourmand marshmallow in here, so it kind of tones it down. So if you're expecting like a big marshmallow kind of smell in this, you're not going to get it. There is marshmallow, you can smell it, but it's not like what's in the Love Don't Be Shy. This one is a very vanilla heavy fragrance, very sweet as well, but there's a green nuance to this from that green tea. It's a very sweet vanilla, powdery, warm, spicy, amber, fresh, green, and citrus scent. This opens with lemon in the opening. It's a very fresh opening. So this has green tea, like I said, in the middle. It has ginger, it has Hidion, there's green apple, there's jasmine, and then there's also peach. It's slightly fruity floral, at the same time slightly green, and that slight spicy kind of vibe from the ginger. And in the base you get a huge dose of vanilla with benzoin, so it's intensified because benzoin smells like vanilla too. And then there's marshmallow. I like it, but I don't love it. I mean, I like it enough to wear it quite a bit. It's a nice everyday kind of scent, you guys. It is Kilian Princess. So that's it, you guys. So those are all the Kilian fragrances that I have. So like I said, I'm probably going to end up buying Intoxicated and Good Girl Gone Bad both. One other one that I have on my list to buy that you guys have been recommending this fragrance in the comment section quite a bit. Forbidden Games. That's the other one that I want to get my hands on sometime soon. So I'll probably complete my Kilian collection with those three fragrances, you guys, like the Forbidden Games, Intoxicated, and Good Girl Gone Bad, until of course they come up with a new fragrance. So that's my Kilian house review, you guys. I think it's a very unique, amazing fragrance house that has that certain DNA that, you know, nobody else has. Something very, very special about this house, and a lot of their creations are just quite unique. Some of them are very, very luxurious, very sophisticated, very expensive smelling. Some of them are very mysterious, very dark. Some of them are very like sexy. Some of them are very feminine and playful. Whatever you like, Kilian's got something for you. This is probably the most amount of fragrances that I have from one house, you guys. That goes to show how much I love this house. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what your favorite Kilian fragrance is down in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts, you guys. It makes me happy always to read your comments. Please take time to make a comment and let me know your thoughts. Let me know your favorite Kilian fragrances. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and enjoyed it. And if you haven't subscribed already, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring that notification bell so you will be notified every time I upload. I will see you guys in my next video.